Hi, it's John, and welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring. Thanks very much for tuning in to this episode. And as you can see from the intro to this video, we're going to be looking at a smartwatch today. But before we get to that, as I'm doing on all my videos from down in the basement here, my album today that I'm featuring is Exile on Main Street from the Rolling Stones. When it comes to raw recordings of rock and roll, that record is probably the best one you'll ever buy. Now, today we're looking at a smartwatch. And before I show you the smartwatch and we take a good look at it, I want to tell you how I got to this point. If you've watched any of my videos before, you've noticed that I wear a smartwatch. And a couple of years ago, we had some health issues in the family, and I was missing phone calls and text messages when I was out on the road. I was kind of concerned about that, so I decided to get myself a smartwatch. And I really wanted a smartwatch that has interconnectivity with my phone, so it could control my music player, I could get email, I could also get text messages, and I could get phone calls at the same time. And did the trick for me. But the problem is with most smartwatches is the batteries are just terrible in them. They don't last very long. If you're somebody like me who rolls out of bed real early in the morning, and I'm talking 3:30, 4 a.m., by the time you get to noon hour, you're really draining your battery. And if you go out on a bike ride, it won't do the trick, because I wanted a watch that could also track some of my rides using Strava and ride with GPS with the apps on the watch. This watch will not do that. So I started looking around for some other watches. And if you look at sports-centric watches, for instance, Garmin, first of all, they're really expensive. They're huge, and also they don't have that interconnectivity with your phone. They don't have the text messaging, so you can reply to messages. You can't use your phone. It doesn't have that on it, and I really want that as well. So I started looking online at a lot of different watches. I ended up coming across the TicWatch Pro 2. Now, I looked at that one, a year or so ago, and I really liked what I saw, but they've since come out with the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS, and I got in touch with Mobvoi, the company that makes this. I said, listen, I've seen lots of reviews of this watch online by just general users and a lot of runners, but I'm a bike rider. I go on rides of 4.5, 5 hours, 6 hours. Will the battery in this watch last for the whole ride? Because they claim that this has a very long battery life. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the battery life of this on this video. We're going to look at some of the features as well, but I'm also going to go out on a 100K ride a little bit later this week, and it's going to be about a 4.5 hour ride. I'm going to use this thing for the whole day, and we'll see if the battery can do the job while I'm out riding my bike, and I can use it as well for all those features I want so much when it connects with my phone. So let's do that right now. It's a brand new box. I've had it in the house about 18 hours. I've had to use a lot of self-control not to open it up. You can see the cellophane still on there. So let's open up this box. Let's take a look at this watch, and then we'll give it a test right here on Cycling on a Shoestring. Here's a close-up look at the box itself, and if you're an observant person, you'll notice that the plastic is off the box. I had some issues. I unboxed it and I had some audio problems with the video, so I apologize about that, but this will be your first time looking at the watch. And much about the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS is written right on the back of the box itself. So we'll just take a quick look at this so you can find out what's under the hood, basically. Okay, so you've got the Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear 4100 platform, which is a big upgrade from my last one, which is a 2100. Up to 72 hours of battery in smart mode, 45 days in essential mode, IP68 and swim suitable, HD heart rate, stress, and sleep tracking. It's got Google Assistant on it as well. Also, thousands of watch faces, many already on the watch. You can get so many on Google Play. Many of them are free. Dual display as well, which is great for that extended battery life, which I'm going to test out later on a bike ride, a 100K ride this week. Speaker and mic support, which is so nice. You get a text message, you want to reply, speak into your watch. As long as it's connected to your phone, you can do that. You can also just talk into your watch to make phone calls, which is so cool. You've got 10 professional workout modes plus. Also, it's got Google Pay, and it's got a GPS already built in. So all of that already on this watch, and it can do so much more. You can download apps and just really enjoy this watch, and it can make your day so much easier. So let me take it out of the box, and then we'll take a look at how this thing works and see if that Qualcomm Snapdragon 4100 platform makes it really snappy and easy to use. Also coming in the box, you get this TicWatch Pro 3 Quick Guide, which is just basic information on how to sync it up with your phone, which is basically a two-step process. A little more information about the watch itself and some product safety information on there as well. And you can't have the watch if you haven't got a cord. I'd say this cord is a good 3 feet long, a meter long. It's got that 2-prong magnetic hookup for the back of the watch, which will snap on there in just a moment. And of course, we have to have the star of the show, and there it is right there, the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. Let me zoom in on it nice and close so we can get a good look at it. And what I notice about this watch right off the top is that it looks very sharp. That all black look looks terrific. And I think that this would look fine if you went out for dinner, went home, went to bed, and then first thing in the morning, go out for a bike ride or go out for a run or go out for a swim. I think it fits all of those situations. Now, looking at the watch itself, it is metal bezeled all the way around here, and you can see the numbers on there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up to 16. You've got those dual buttons to control the watch itself. On the back, you've got your sensors here for your heart rate, okay? And of course, you've got your little charging points right there, which I'll snap on in a moment. This is a very hard plastic back, and the watch is not that heavy at all. So I'm finding that it is very, very light, and that's something you want if you're going out riding. You don't want to feel it on your wrist. You don't want to feel it if you're out running. And then there is the charger, and it just snaps on just that easy. And right now we're going through the process to set it up, and you're seeing different languages right there so you can hook it up to your phone. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to download a couple of apps to it, and then we're going to take a close look at the watch itself and see how sharp and snappy that Snapdragon 4100 is in that watch. I have connected my watch to my phone. It's a real easy process. Just follow along. It really doesn't take a lot of time, maybe a few minutes, and then very soon you'll have most of the information from your phone on your watch, and you can access all that information. Now, if you look closely at the watch face right now, you might be able to see very faintly the time on it. That's the dual screen, but right now it's kind of in hibernation. That's what it's like when you're not really looking at it. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to make it so it brightens up a little bit. And that's what happens when you turn your wrist over, so you can see that time, you can see your steps, you can see the date, and it's only there for a few seconds, but that's going to save your battery so that it lasts a lot longer. But you really want to be able to see this beautiful screen here. Here's your AMOLED screen, 1.4 inches, 454 by 454, and it's really nice and bright. It looks vibrant, it looks terrific, and that's the watch face I've added. I've got my wife's face on there. You can see that. If I click on that, I can either text her or I can send a phone message to her. Also got the battery on there as well, and it's got the temperature here in Calgary today. Now, as far as that Snapdragon 4100, it's really nice. I mean, you drag with Wear OS, so you drag left, right, up, and down. Over here, you get information, a date, phone, or the temperature out there as well, how many steps you've gone if you want to click on that, an inspirational message from Margaret Thatcher there today. If you go over this way, that's a tile, so I've got the temperature on there and our weather today. You click on it and it updates it, and it gives you, further weather down the road, sort of an extended forecast, right? Now, if I go this way, I've got a calendar on there. Right now, no events today. I've got my beats per minute for my heart. I've got a timer, and you can change this and kind of set it up the way you really want it. Going down is notifications. It tells me that there's a system update needed there. And if you go up to the top, this is your settings up here. You can go in here and change all kinds of things, how bright your watch is, how loud the alarm is on it, how loud the ringer is on it, things like that, all in there as well. Now, one other thing you can do in here is you can click on this button right here, and that button is all the apps in there. Now, I've added a few apps. I put Strava on there, Ride with GPS, Keep Notes, and you can add all sorts of different apps in here, and you can add them to the top of the list. So when you open it, the ones you use the most are at the top. And all you do with that is you just hold on them, and you start to see them wiggle there, and then you can drag them to the top. So those ones that you use all the time are always at the top and easy to access. Now, a nice thing about this is, at the bottom here, you can personalize this button to put anything on here, maybe a calendar, contacts. I like to have this for messages so I can instantly text message my wife or whoever has got in touch with me the last. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send a message to my wife. We'll see if she gets back to us. Test, test, test. All right, you just hit the check mark and then it will send that message directly to her. And she's upstairs, maybe she'll get back to us. But I really like the functionality of this watch. It's a beautiful watch on your wrist, very comfortable. I've been wearing it for a couple of hours before I did this and after I'd set up the watch the way I wanted and I linked it up with my phone. But it has been very, very comfortable. And you can see she just sent me, Teat back and she sent me Tess. So a little bit of a spelling mistake at that point. But anyway, she sent me that message back and you can see her face there because it's gone in and it's using the contacts of my phone on my watch right now. But anyway, I got that message from her and it's terrific that you can do that. Really, really handy because you don't have to pull that watch or that phone out of your pocket, or if you're out on a bike ride, it's in your jersey. Oh, she's making a phone call to me. Sheila Bolton calling phone. Hello there.
Hey, where's spell check when you need it?
Yeah, I was kind of joking about that while I was shooting my video. I'm glad you called me to explain what you had done there.
Do you want hamburgers for dinner?
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. So there you go. And it's so cool. I love every time I'm able to answer a phone on my watch. I just absolutely love it. Now over here you can see on the watch right now I've got music up there right now. You can control your music and do all that from your watch as well. It's a terrific thing. And if you've never had a smartwatch, you'll wonder how you've done without it. But of course, I'm really interested in the battery on it. You can see the watch going into the dual screen mode right now. There it is, which keeps that battery lasting longer and longer. And later this week, I'll do that 100K ride and we'll see if the battery lasts for a whole day for me so that I can use this for sports and when I'm riding my bike. Now right now, I'm going to change my camera position. I'm going to show you this watch on my wrist, show you the band as well, and then we'll conclude this on Friday with a long ride here in Calgary. So far, I'm really impressed with the watch. I've been wearing it all afternoon and I don't really feel it on my wrist. It is a light watch. It's got a nice band to it as well that you don't really notice all that much. It's very pliable. It is full silicone. It looks like it's been stitched a little bit, so it's got a little bit of class to it as well. 22 millimeters, so if you're looking for additional watch bands, you want to kind of add some personality to this watch while you're wearing it, or you want to change it regularly, you can do that. But the watch band is really nice and it feels very comfortable. So far, so good with the watch, but how will it work when I go on a long bike ride? Well, through the magic of this camera, I'm going to transport you into the future 3 days. In just a few seconds from now, I'll be heading out on my bike on a 100-kilometer ride. Voila, it is Friday morning, a beautiful start to the day, a little cool. It's going to get up to 18 Celsius here in Calgary today. So I'm about to go out on my 100K ride. And just a little background about this ride. I really want to test out the battery on the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. My other watch, smartwatch, died, would never make it through a 4.5-hour ride, particularly running a couple of programs at the same time on it. I'm going to be running Strava and I'm going to be running Ride with GPS at the same time on the watch. Now, a little battery information. I've been wearing the watch for about 5 days, and on Wednesday morning, I got up with a 100% charge. On Thursday morning, I got up with a 65% charge, and this morning I got up and I had a 33% charge. So they claim a 3-day battery life with normal use. I would say a little more than normal because I've been messing around with the watch this week. So definitely 72 hours you're going to get out of the watch just with normal use, and you can stretch that out if you turn things off or you put it on for extended life. So great battery use so far in this watch. So out we go. We'll start off with Ride with GPS and Strava on. This morning I charged the watch up to 100%, and it was at 33% when I started. It took 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 54 seconds to charge up to 100, so it's about a 2-hour, 15-minute full charge from 0 to 100 on this watch. So I'm going out with just a few less, about 97% on the watch right now. Let's see how it works on a 100K ride today here on Cycling on a Shoestring. So I'm back from my 100K ride. Actually, it came in at 94.3K on my Garmin. A few detours around Calgary today. Took a few kilometers off my ride. But let's see how the battery did. Now, just keep in mind, I had Ride with GPS and Strava running on the TicWatch 3 Pro GPS through this whole ride. So we had GPS running at the same time. When I went out on the ride, it was at 97%. So let's take a look. We'll go in here. My wife is handling the camera. Hopefully you can see that all right. So we'll go over here, touch the watch, and then we'll hit here on the battery. And we're at 53% right now. So there's still lots of battery life. More than half is left after that ride. So that's great. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to go over to my apps. We'll go over to Strava. You see it's still clicking away, 4 hours, 10 minutes, 95K. We'll pause that. We'll hit the little flag and it is done. And we'll go over to Ride with GPS here, and you can see it says 59.2 distance in miles. Okay, so it's not done in K. I'll have to change that setting, distance in miles there. So right now we're sitting at just under 100K, and we can stop that. And those will upload immediately to my phone and to Strava and Ride with GPS. So how do I feel about this watch? Well, I really wanted to try this watch to test out the battery. And I said earlier that it's a 3-day battery if you just use it normally. My other watch would not have made this 4-hour ride with a GPS running in the background. And I tried it with those 2 apps at one time and it crashed. So really it's got something great under the hood here. That 4100 Snapdragon is fantastic for this watch. It has been a joy having this. I didn't realize how nice it would be to have this watch and be able to go to bed at night, not have to plug it in and charge it all night. Leave it for 3 days and you're fine, so that's terrific. The real game changer on this watch is that dual screen, which I really enjoy. It's got the screen you can see anytime, touch it to get that beautiful 1.4-inch AMOLED screen, 454 by 454. It runs like a dream. It's a terrific watch, and I can't say anything negative about it, other than one thing that's not really a negative. A little bit better vibration would be great, because a little bit more of that vibration on the wrist to let you know you're getting a call or you're getting your email. But if you're somebody who rides a bike or you're a runner and you're looking for a watch that's got that interconnectivity with your phone, they get you your text, they get you your email, they get you your phone calls, and you also want to use something for a sport watch, I cannot recommend enough this watch, the TicWatch 3 Pro GPS. It's a fantastic watch. Thanks so much to Mobvoi for sending it to me. Much appreciated. It was a real joy having this on my wrist over the last 5-6 days and probably the next week or so and into the future, because this is a definite buy if you're looking for a watch to do all those things I was just talking about. Now, if this review was helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel as well, ring the bell for notifications, and thank you so much for watching Cycling on a Shoestring.